Raiders defeat the Carolina Panthers 35-32 in what was an incredible game. You're watching the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. Welcome to the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. Oakland Raiders defeat the Carolina Panthers. This game was incredible, and it's time for a game recap. The Raiders win, I believe, their fifth straight game now, and they did so in an incredible fashion. They came back after the Panthers came back. And, initially, this Raiders team was up 24-7 at halftime, I believe. You just saw Khalil Mack get a pick six on Cam Newton. Cam Newton had a horrible half-line stat line, and he was 3 for 12, 18 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, 1 rushing touchdown, but just a horrible stat line. You said, man, there's no way the Panthers are going to win this game. The Raiders are already ahead. They're not going to let go of this lead. This game is pretty much over, but no. The Panthers came back, and this is what we've seen from this Panthers team. There are flashes of the team they used to be. I mean, they can go on absolute tears. We saw the first half against the San Francisco 49ers. We saw the first half against the Arizona Cardinals. We saw the second half today, the third quarter today, where they can put up points in a hurry and they look as dominant as they were in 2015. But man, there are stretches where they're just not very good at all. And unfortunately for them, that happened in the first quarter, in the first half, and that definitely happened in the fourth quarter, the end of the game, when Cam Newton is leading his team down the field very successfully, I might add, only to just absolutely stall. Go 1st and 10, 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10, 4th and 10, incomplete, strip sack, game over. As Khalil Mack makes another huge play, and he has, to me, entrusted himself back into the Defensive Player of the Year conversation. He had not been in that conversation before this week, but he is definitely in that conversation now. It is going to be between, to me, him and Von Miller, and possibly Landon Collins of the New York Giants for that award. Also maybe Casey Hayward of the San Diego Chargers, because, man, this game, what a huge game. You talk about getting a pick six right before the halftime and then getting a strip sack to win the game. Just absolutely incredible play by Khalil Mack. And we know that he's big time. And he proved to be big time today when the game was on the line and they needed him most. He showed up. He played great. Also, on the flip side of the football, someone else showed up and played great when his team needed him most, and that is Derek Carr, the quarterback for the Oakland Raiders. This guy is a legitimate MVP candidate. In fact, right now, he's my MVP. He's right above Dak Prescott, just barely. This game, I think it's up and down because he did have an interception today while Dak Prescott continues to throw none. But Dak Prescott in his victory today, this week, only had 195 yards, while Derek Carr today threw 316, led his team back, put up 35 points. So I think Derek Carr made a better argument this week and has made a better argument this entire season. That's just my argument, but Dak Prescott is right there, and we're going to see ultimately who can get there. I think it's probably going to come down to which of these quarterbacks has the best record, and it'll probably be Prescott by the end of the season, but we shall see. But yeah, Derek Carr had another good game, had an interception, but outside of that, had a great game. Also, Michael Crabtree, who, when he's on point, man, when he's catching footballs and he's playing well, this guy is just incredible to watch, man. This guy is just so technically sound, the way he's able to get his feet down inbounds, to track the ball, track it well, catch the ball, catch it well. This guy is just so beautiful to watch as a wide receiver in the NFL. You wonder why the 49ers ever let him go, because, boy, they could use him right now. He's probably worth 1 or 2 wins for that football team right now, but he's playing absolutely great. He had a great game today en route for this Raiders victory. You also saw Latavius Murray, who, yes, he only had 19 carries for 45 yards, but I saw a significant amount of key runs. You saw the 3rd and 1 in the fourth quarter. You saw the touchdown run as well. There wasn't much in terms of yardage, but man, when he needed to get some nice yards here or there, he got them. He played well. So yes, the yardage isn't great, but if you watch the game, you know what I'm talking about, man. He actually, I'd say, had a good game despite the poor yardage. When you look at these big plays, huge plays, he played well, man. You got to give him that. Amari Cooper didn't do much today, but again, Michael Crabtree, 8 receptions for 110 yards. He carried the load. This Panthers team, so up and down. I mean, I talked about the horrible Cam Newton stat line at halftime. He ended up with a 50% completion percentage, and that just goes to show how up and down he and this team is. 14 of 28, 246 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Jonathan Stewart ran the ball well today, and it makes sense, a little bit to where, okay, this Raiders defense, run defense isn't great. The thing, though, that I don't understand is usually when the run game is working, that's when you see Cam Newton is at his best. He wasn't at his best throughout this entire game. So that's a little odd. But ultimately, this team, they don't really have an identity right now. They're so up and down. They're like a wave, man. You don't know what you're going to get from them. Ted Ginn, that's another inconsistent player, man. This guy can have an 88-yard touchdown like he did today, and then he can have a 2-yard catch. They're just so inconsistent. Every single body on this football team, outside of Luke Kuechly, everyone's so inconsistent. The tackles are at least consistently bad. I mean, that's something that you can expect from them most of the time. Even they're consistent. So this whole team, they're finished. First of all, I mean, this game, if you weren't already convinced that they were going to miss the playoffs, you're definitely convinced now, as they're now 4-7. It's very clear. As for the Oakland Raiders, okay, I mean, look at this team as a Super Bowl contender, and that's what they are. Okay. Did this game convince me that they're a Super Bowl contender, that they're, that they can beat the Patriots in the AFC Championship game that I'm projecting will occur? I'd actually say yes, because whenever, for the last drive, when they were letting Cam Newton go up the field, I said, man, things are not looking good. But when Cam Newton and this Panthers team were just 8 yards away, boom! The Raiders defense turns it on. They know how to play all of a sudden, and they show up and they win a football game. This team knows how to win football games, and man, there's something to that, man. And the Patriots didn't play very well today either. I mean, it's a divisional matchup for them, but I mean, still, so I still like this Raiders team. I'm not saying I like them to beat the Patriots, but man, I think more people should be giving them respect in terms of potentially beating the Patriots. I mean, I'm giving them a 40% chance of beating the Patriots in that game if it were to occur. And if it doesn't occur because the Patriots have already been knocked out, I think the Raiders are the favorite, okay, at that point. So this Raiders team, they are a legitimate Super Bowl contender. All the teams this year, they're so flawed outside of the Patriots and the Cowboys. All of them are so flawed. So, man, the Raiders, they're legitimate, man. You got to get on these bandwagons, not like, jumping on them and supporting these teams, but in terms of admiring them and having admiration, you got to jump on it. You can't keep being a skeptic of the Raiders and the Cowboys. They're going to keep proving you wrong, and they're going to win a Super Bowl, one of them. Or maybe the Patriots will just win anyway. But right now, I think of the Raiders and the Cowboys, I think the probability of at least one of them winning the Super Bowl, I'd put it at maybe 45%, which is pretty freaking hot. Or maybe even over 50%. So admire these teams. They're good. Respect them. They're going to keep winning games, and they're going to be in big games in January and maybe even February, but we will see as the season progresses. So I will be back to recap every NFL Week 12 game that I have not recapped already, so stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to comment down below, like, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. Peace.